He sat in the ER bleeding, while nurses stepped around him like he didn't exist. They didn't ask his name, they didn't know his story, and they had no idea that the young man they were ignoring was the son of one of the most powerful women in the city. Hours later she would walk in, make one call, and bring the entire hospital to its knees. The emergency room was alive with noise, telephones ringing, the echo of hurried footsteps, voices calling out patient names. But in the corner, far from the triage desk, Jordan Hayes sat alone. His right forearm was wrapped in a torn strip of white shirt, the fabric already soaked through with crimson. The cut was deep, a result of an accident at a construction site. Earlier that day, he'd walked into the hospital expecting help. Instead, he got silence. He noticed the eyes on him. Some curious, some cautious, some avoiding him altogether. To them, he was just another young black man in a hoodie, maybe trouble, maybe uninsured, maybe someone who didn't belong. Every time he approached the reception desk, the nurse would glance at the clipboard, sigh, and tell him to wait. Then, another patient, sometimes with a scratch, sometimes just a cough, would be taken in ahead of him. The minutes crawled by, then an hour, then two. Jordan's pride told him to walk out, to prove he didn't need them. But the pain in his arm told him otherwise. His vision blurred slightly from the blood loss. His breathing felt heavier. He thought about calling his mother, but he hesitated. She had meetings, a company to run, people depending on her every second of the day. He didn't want to be a burden. But when he felt his knees weaken, he pulled out his phone and pressed her number. She picked up on the second ring. Jordan, is something wrong? He tried to sound calm. I'm at the hospital. I cut my arm pretty bad. Okay, what room are you in? She asked. He hesitated. I'm still in the waiting area. A pause, then her voice sharpened. How long have you been waiting? 2, maybe 3 hours. That was all it took. Her tone shifted low, firm, the kind of voice she used when she was about to move mountains. Which hospital? 23 minutes later. The automatic doors slid open. Danielle Hayes walked in like a storm wrapped in elegance. A long black coat flowed behind her, her heels striking the tile with precision. She didn't have to speak for the room to notice her. She saw her son instantly, his skin pale, his eyes tired. She crossed the room in seconds, crouched in front of him, and took his chin gently in her hand. You're okay now, she murmured. Then she straightened and turned toward the reception desk. My son has been sitting here for nearly 3 hours with a deep laceration. He has been ignored while others with lesser injuries were treated. Ahead of him, explain. The nurse fumbled for words. We didn't know. Danielle's eyes sharpened. You didn't need to know. You needed to care. The room went silent. Even the security guard at the far wall was watching now. Danielle took out her phone again and dialed. This is Danielle Hayes. Get the hospital administrator on the line immediately. She waited, eyes locked on the nurse, until a man in a navy suit came rushing out of the back offices. His smile was forced. His hand shook slightly. Ms. Hayes, I wasn't aware. No, she interrupted. That's the problem. You don't need to be aware of who someone is to do your job. She made one more call, this time to her company's operations division. This is Hayes Global. Effective immediately, all supply contracts with this hospital are suspended. I want a full legal review of their patient care policies for discrimination. If I find proof, I will ensure this place is shut down. The administrator's face drained of color. Nurses exchanged nervous glances. Patients whispered in disbelief. Jordan was in an exam room within minutes. The hospital's top trauma nurse cleaned and stitched the wound, muttering apologies the entire time. Danielle stayed beside him, holding his hand steady. You matter, Jordan. Don't you ever let anyone make you feel invisible. By morning, the incident was all over the news. Not because Danielle Hayes was a billionaire CEO, but because the story revealed a deeper problem in the healthcare system. Community leaders called her move a wake-up call. The hospital board announced an emergency review of staff conduct. Jordan's scar would fade, but the memory of that night, the way his mother walked in and turned the room into silence, would last forever. Because in that moment, he didn't just see her as a CEO. He saw her as a mother who would burn the world down to protect her son.